Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm doing a review of Galactic Cruise, a 1 to 4 player competitive Euro with a solo mode. And disclaimer that I got a review copy of this one. Galactic Cruise is primarily a worker placement game. You will be placing your workers on these different spots around the board, performing different actions that are randomized each game, spending resources, upgrading, getting new workers, and working on building shuttles to launch cruises with varied passengers to varied destinations to earn big victory points and be the winner at the end of the game. So let's discuss 5 key things to know about Galactic Cruise. So my number 5 point, the least important to know but still important enough to include in the review, is the variety in the game, things that change from play to play, and this is generally a pro for my taste. So as I mentioned, these core action spaces, while you always have the same 12, they are mixed and matched all together, so you're going to have a very different action landscape game to game. You also use a different combination of 4 technologies to upgrade into. Your endgame scoring goals change, you're drawing different cards, different components, different engines and shuttles. So the overall tactical makeup of the game definitely changes pretty drastically each play. But the one big caveat for this one is that I didn't feel like I was doing anything that differently on a larger strategic level. It's not like one game I can just focus on developments and another game I can just focus on the endgame goals. You're kind of always going to be building shuttles, and that is the major focus of the gameplay and scoring. My number 4 point is the sense of upgrading and engine building in the game. This is also generally a pro. So there's lots of things you can improve across the game. First of all, you can take away these developments, which will give you more max capacity for your resources. And they'll give you either more free-form access to the different actions without paying a whole bunch, or give you access to the technologies, so those feel really cool and powerful. You can also hire these expert workers that have a different power every game, and also just having more workers means you have to pull them back and rest less often. You're also building your shuttles themselves. That's always fun, and you can, as you launch shuttles, unlock other bonuses like more income every time you pull back your workers. Now, going back to my previous point, you aren't necessarily going to have drastically different capabilities and bonuses from game to game, but it does feel like you're getting more powerful and accomplishing more efficient actions as the game goes along. My number 3 point for Galactic Cruise is the solo bot. This is a mix for my taste. So you can play against a bot for solo play on one of 3 difficulties, and how it basically works is you flip a card from the top of this bot deck, and this will tell you what action the bot is taking, and this will tell you where their worker is placed. And then if the placement of their worker is connected and adjacent to the actual action space that they were resolving, then they get to resolve a second card. And this is where things fall apart a bit, because there's just a ton of swinginess here. Sometimes the bot will just get lucky and get a ton of double turns. Sometimes it won't get almost any at all. And another strong luck-based element is the shuffling of this deck, because the bot has 2 chances to launch shuttles each time they go through their deck, but especially the second time through their deck, if those cards happen to be near the bottom, because at least in my plays, I've found the game tends to end after about 2 go-throughs, then they might focus most of their attention on actions that aren't actually earning them that many points, and it just kind of derails a lot of their functionality. So long story short, the bot's score is not necessarily going to be competitive. Some games they'll just do amazingly well, sometimes they will suck, and it really has no rhyme or reason. It's just very random feeling overall. But back to the positive side, actually running the bot's turn and resolving their actions, very simple, very straightforward, very quick to resolve. So I appreciate that. If you don't care that much about whether their score is going to be close to yours and just kind of treat it like a beat your own score mode, I think it works fine. My number 2 point for Galactic Cruise is the actual prep and launching of the cruises, and this is a big pro for me. This reminds me a bit of Distilled or the upcoming Luthier. Those are Euro games where you put a lot of energy into making something happen. Like, it takes a while to build it up, because here you have to get the blueprints for your modules. You have to put them on the actual ship. You have to get the people who are going to ride there ready. You have to schedule the cruise you're going to do. But once all that happens, it's extremely satisfying to actually run your cruise. And the cool thing is, once you've built your shuttle, you can use it again and again. You can have up to 3 or 4 based on upgrades. So the game ramps up greatly, it's very satisfying, you feel like you're accomplishing cool things. So like I said, a lot of the game's focus is on doing those cruises. They earn you most of your victory points, but it's all satisfying because that's what you want to be doing. That's the name of the game, and it is a lot of fun. Finally, my number 1 point for Galactic Cruise, the most important thing for you to know, in my opinion, is the worker placement itself. And this is a pro with some caveats. Depending on your taste, it might be a mix or even a con, because this is a very friendly worker placement system. When it's your turn, you generally will place a worker on one of the 6 spots, and if somebody's already on the spot you want to take, whoops, you just bump them. They get a small reward for getting their worker back. It means they don't have to rest as frequently, so you don't want to do it all the time, but you are never locked out of an action you want to take. You can combo actions together, so you have to worry even less about who's where and who's blocking you. And for a lot of worker placement games where you pull back your workers, that's the bane of the game's existence. You have these null turns that are really unsatisfying. But in Galactic Cruise, when your workers come back, they immediately give you a bonus based on the upgrades you've gotten, and then you still get to resolve an action adjacent to one of your developments. So so it's pretty much like a half turn anyway, plus some bonuses. Now, where I think the negative could come in for some people is if they want more cutthroat worker placement. If you want to, find the exact right place and totally mess up your opponent's plans, you're not really going to get that here. But if you like a friendlier worker placement that doesn't lead to as many hurt feelings, I think this one could be great for you. So overall, if you like worker placement games, if you like medium to heavy Euros with a really strong thematic integration, Galactic Cruise might be one for you to check out. But on the other hand, if you're looking to mainly play this one solo and balance is an issue for you, you want an automa that's going to be consistently challenging, I don't think the solo mode here really fits the bill. But if you want to see the game in action and decide for yourself, I have a playthrough on the channel from a week or two ago. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good gaming, and I'll see you at the next stop.